Hello everyone, now we will continue following the story of One Piece. Right now, Luffy's crew is traveling on 2 small boats, and their final destination is the Grand Line. Based on their current situation, they can't go to the Grand Line yet. They need a bigger boat and more crew members. Speaking of crew members, Luffy wants to have a cook and a musician in his crew. Hearing this, Zoro was amused and burst out laughing because he didn't know what Luffy would do with a musician. Then Nami looked at the map and saw that there was a village nearby named Sira. So, they decided to go there to look for a bigger boat and more crew members. As soon as they arrived, a man named Usopp, pretending to be a pirate, ambushed them. Usopp thought that Luffy's crew was a group of pirates who wanted to plunder his village. And he had arranged pirate flags around the area to trick Luffy's crew into thinking he had many men. At that moment, the clever Nami saw that Usopp's crew had at most 3 members, and as she suspected, those 3 were all kids. Then, when Luffy saw Usopp's followers run away and abandon him, he burst out laughing, making Usopp angry. He drew his slingshot, intending to shoot him. Then, Luffy threatened Usopp, saying, "Weapons are not for threatening people. Are you willing to risk your life?" That threat made Usopp surrender. And because Luffy said he spoke well, then Luffy laughed and said that he learned to say that from Shanks. After finding out that Luffy knew Shanks, they got along, because Usopp's father, named Usopp, is also one of Shanks' crew members. Then, after talking for a bit, Usopp remembered he had something to do and asked to leave first. And just as Usopp left, the kids who were his followers arrived. At that moment, they threatened Luffy's crew to tell them immediately where they had hidden Usopp, their leader. And Zoro lied to them, saying he had eaten Usopp whole. "Stop trying to scare the kids, will you?" Then the kids led Luffy's crew to the biggest house in the village because they knew that if they couldn't find Usopp, he would be at that house. Usopp comes to this house to tell stories to a girl. That girl's name is Kaya. Her parents had died from illness, leaving her a great fortune, but all that wealth couldn't make her happy. That's why the kind-hearted Usopp always comes to tell her stories to cheer her up. After hearing this, Luffy didn't care. He only knew that Kaya was rich and he wanted to go ask her for a big boat. Then, Luffy used his slingshot to get all his friends over the fence and inside. And hearing the noise, the head butler of the house arrived. That butler's name is Clahador. When he arrived, he accused Usopp of meeting Kaya only because he wanted to scam her for money. He kept talking and started insulting Usopp's father as well. Because Usopp's father is a pirate, he insulted him, saying Usopp's father was a brainless man who abandoned his family to search for treasure. This made Usopp so angry he couldn't control himself and punched Clahador with all his might. Even after that, Clahador didn't shut up. He said that a scoundrel's descendant is still a scoundrel. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They only like to use brute force to solve problems. At that point, Usopp grabbed Clahador's collar, wanting to hit him a few more times, but Kaya stopped him and told Usopp to leave because she doesn't like people who use violence. Meanwhile, Luffy, who was also watching, was very angry with Clahador for looking down on pirates and wanted to rush in and fight him, but Zoro held him back. Afterwards, Luffy went to find Usopp to try and cheer him up a bit, because Luffy knew that Usopp's father is a good person. There, by chance, they saw Clahador talking secretly with another man. In their conversation, Usopp and Luffy overheard that Clahador used to be a pirate captain named Kuro, and the man with glasses like Michael Jackson is his subordinate named Django. And right now, they are planning to legally rob Kaya of her fortune. What they want to do is have Django use his hypnosis on Kaya, then make her ride to while giving her fortune to Kuro. Then, they will send their pirate crew to invade the village and kill Kaya to make it look like Kaya died in an accident. Hearing this, Luffy got angry and couldn't bear it, so he shouted threats at them from above telling them not to hurt Kaya. Once exposed, Kuro ordered Django to hypnotize Luffy and Usopp to make them pass out. At that moment, Luffy was hypnotized and fell headfirst downwards, while Usopp was fine because he dodged in time. No one thought Luffy survived that incident, and Kuro wasn't worried that Usopp would tell anyone, because Usopp likes to make up stories and lie in his free time. So even if he told the truth, nobody would believe him. However, Usopp didn't give up trying. He ran quickly toward the village, passing a group of kids and Zoro without stopping to talk. From the panicked look on Usopp's face, the kids knew there must be big trouble at the coast, so they led Zoro and Nami there. And they did indeed find Luffy. His condition looked like someone who had fallen from a great height and broken his neck, but Zoro could see that Luffy was just asleep and woke him up. Following Usopp, when he reached the village, he shouted an announcement that pirates were coming and that the villagers should flee quickly. But of course, none of the villagers believed Usopp because he had lied too often in the past. Then Usopp went to Kaya's house to persuade her to run, but when Usopp told Kaya that Clahador was a pirate, Kaya didn't believe him, because for the past 3 years, Clador had been very good to her. Just then, Kaya's bodyguard arrived, and Usopp, having no time to explain, took Kaya hostage. At that moment, Usopp clashed with a few security guards, and we see that Usopp is a very accurate shot, able to hold off guns with just a slingshot. After dealing with the security team, Usopp wanted to grab Kaya's hand and run, but she slapped him. Asterisk slap sound asterisk asterisk emotional music starts asterisk. At that moment, Usopp was really hurt, but he couldn't force Kaya. And Kaya's bodyguard also caught up, forcing Usopp to flee from the gunfire. Then that night, Usopp returned to meet up with Luffy's crew. At that time, Usopp vowed that he would go fight the pirate crew, and even if he died, he would have no regrets. And Luffy's crew couldn't just stand by and watch, so they agreed to join and help Usopp. At that moment, Zoro said that they agreed to help not because they felt sorry for Usopp, but because Usopp is a respectable person. And that praise from Zoro made Usopp very emotional. After that, they traveled to the entrance of the village because they knew the pirate crew would arrive the next morning. The entrance to the village was a reasonably steep slope, and they thought of pouring oil all over it to prevent the pirates from entering the village. At dawn, Kuro's pirate crew sailed to shore as planned. At that time, they also saw Luffy's 2 boats docked nearby, but they didn't pay much attention. Looking back at Luffy's crew, strangely, they didn't see the pirate ship at all. After thinking it over, Usopp just remembered that there's another entrance to the village to the north. If they run, it'll take 3 minutes to get there. Hearing this, Luffy didn't wait for anyone and dashed off ahead, with Usopp running behind him. At that moment, Nami also remembered that her bag of treasure was on the boat docked at the northern shore. And because she was so worried about her treasure, she accidentally slipped on the oil, pulling Zoro down with her. But at that moment, Nami was quick and nimble and used Zoro as a stepping stone to get up to the other side. Back at the northern entrance, Kuro's pirate crew had stormed in, but were held back by Usopp using his slingshot. Actually, the one who was supposed to arrive first was Luffy, but as you know, Luffy has no sense of direction. He was told to go north, but he probably ran west. Then, Kuro's pirate crew found Nami's treasure on the boat. A moment later, Nami also arrived, because she won't let anyone touch her treasure. At that point, the two of them were very brave, fighting a whole crew of pirates together. But no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't stand against so many pirates. But luckily, Zoro and Luffy arrived just in time to help them. To continue the fight, Django used his hypnosis to make his crew stronger. After being hypnotized, each of his men had the strength to shatter mountain rocks. At that moment, it wasn't just Django's crew that was hypnotized, but our silly Luffy was hypnotized too. But that was a good thing, because now Luffy has immense power and can take on many people. Asterisk Luffy screaming and fighting sounds asterisk. After beating the pirate crew, Luffy rushed forward again. This scared the pirate crew, but Luffy wasn't rushing to fight them. He went to break the ship's figurehead for some unknown reason. At this point, Luffy seemed unable to control himself. After Luffy broke it, Django used hypnosis to make Luffy fall asleep again. But the piece of wood that Luffy broke fell on the pirate crew, injuring them all. Then Django released his 2 strongest men, who act like cats, one fat and one skinny. The fat one is named Butchai, and the skinny one is named Sham. And the only one who can fight them now is Zoro. Then the scene cuts to Kaya. A while after she woke up, she found her bodyguard heavily injured, but not yet dead. The bodyguard then told her that the one who attacked him was Clador. Only then did she realize that what Usopp told her yesterday was the truth, and she deeply regretted not believing him. For this story, I will pause here. Thank you everyone for watching this story with me. If you think this story is good or have any thoughts, please help comment. Thank you once again, and wish you good health and a bright future.